Episode 1 is finally here. Welcome to She's Got Games Sports Talk, Episode 1, with yours truly, Faith Woods. And you know what else is almost here? The 2020-2021 NBA season. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're just going to talk about some things that I think is going to go down during the season, how some things may go, may not go. And we're just going to have a good little time, talking about it. So let's get into it. Before we get into that, I just want to let y'all know a little bit about me. I'm a 20-year-old college student from Houston, Texas. I attend Prairie View A&M University, and I'm a hometown fan. I rock with the Rockets, the Texans, Astros, any other team in Houston, you name it, I rock with them. I know y'all seen in the intro that I am a fan of the WNBA. Unfortunately, Houston does not have a team anymore, so I rock with the Phoenix Mercury. Really, I just rock with the whole WNBA, but we'll get into that in another episode. On this channel, I want to talk about all things sports. The reason I started this channel was because I feel like more women deserve respect in the world of sports. A lot of men think that women don't know what they're talking about when it comes to sports. They feel like they only know headlines and the major names that they see on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and things like that. But I know it. I know things about sports, and I'm well educated, and I'm still learning more about sports every day. And I actually watch it and I pay attention to it, and I've been in love with it for years. This channel will be more podcast style. It won't be really like me sit down in front of a camera and record myself and talk to you. So it'll be more podcast style. So and we're just gonna have a fun time. We're gonna agree, we're gonna disagree. Sometimes we're gonna agree to disagree. But I just want to bring y'all my opinion. I talk about sports with my friends and family, but I just felt like I could reach a larger audience, and that's what I'm here to do on this channel. As I'm recording this video, the NBA season starts in 2 days. That's crazy to even think about. That's crazy to even say. The NBA season just ended October, I believe. I think the Lakers won their championship in October. And that's just so crazy how fast of this turnaround that they're doing. Like, it's really crazy. A lot of teams had a lot of injuries when the season ended in the bubble. A lot of teams have people that got injured back in February, March that are still recovering from their injuries, and they're gonna be without them at the start of this season. And people are wondering how like the Lakers and the Heat are gonna come out and play with literally just ending the season. Well, I think they said the end from the championship day to the start is 72 days. That's really crazy to think about. Like, you don't see sports turn around that fast. I think even regularly they have about 3 or 4 months, maybe 5 months in between the end of their season to the start. I think it's about four months. And that's crazy. 72 days in between. You have a lot of new players on different teams. They gotta learn. Rookies just got drafted a month ago. They've been out from basketball, just as long as some of these other players, but they're in a whole different league. They're in the pros now, and that's just crazy to even think about. And it's gonna be an interesting one. So I'm just gonna give y'all a few things that I think is gonna take place this season with some new teams and how some teams may perform, how they may not perform. And I'm gonna give y'all some of my award predictions because it's gonna be a crazy season. I think it's gonna be a really fun, interesting season. 72 games, starting December 22nd, and I think they want to end in June, July, because the Olympics. It's gonna be very crazy because we're still in the middle of a pandemic, but the NBA had good protocol with the bubble. Hopefully they can continue to keep these players safe now. But it's going to be crazy. So let's get into what I think is going to happen this season. So I'm going to start off with my Houston Rockets because, oh boy, have they been the headline this past offseason, if you can even call it that. Traded Russell Westbrook for John Wall in a first-round pick. They traded Robert Covington. They lost Jeff Green. They lost Austin Rivers. And potentially they could lose James Harden. So this season is going to be crazy. They signed DeMarcus Cousins. They signed a young emerging star, hopefully, Christian Wood. He looked really good in preseason. But it's going to be a really crazy season because it's just so unknown. Nobody knows if James Harden is going to be here for the whole season, if he's only going to be here for 1 game, 2 games, a week of games. It's just so unknown. They don't even know what the starting lineup is going to look like with this team. They look very promising in the preseason, but it's still so much unknown because they don't know if he's going to be here or not. And it's just going to be a lot to see. Next, I want to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers, because I honestly believe they had probably the best offseason. Because how can you take a championship team and make them an even better contender for the championship? They traded Danny Green and they got Dennis Schroeder. That was a great pickup. Dennis Schroeder played good minutes for the OKC Thunder last year. And then they signed Marc Gasol and Montrezl Harrell. Marc Gasol is up there in age, but he's still going to produce for them. He's going to stretch the floor for them because now they have a center that can shoot threes alongside Anthony Davis, who can shoot threes. And they got that dog Montrezl Harrell, and he's just going to put in some good minutes and everything for them. And they signed Wesley Matthews. He can shoot the ball. They're scary because, LeBron is LeBron. He's going to do what he needs to do. They still looking like championship favorites. And, oh boy, it's going to be fun to watch. But the Western Conference, right now, honestly, I could say it's probably the hardest to predict because there's so many good teams. I really think a lot of the teams are going to end like within 1 or 2 games of each other. Like, I don't think it's going to be anybody that just, okay, I'm going to get first place and then y'all are going to finish 10 games below me. No. It's going to be people ending with half a game between them, a full game, 2 games maybe. It's not going to be that many bad teams. It's going to be a lot of people fighting for that last playoff spot. And it's going to be real crazy. And, on the East, Kevin Durant is back. Let me say that again. Kevin Durant is back. He looked amazing in preseason. He looked back in his old form, shooting, running, explosive, playing defense. He just looked amazing. Alongside Kyrie, who is also coming off another injury. Hopefully he can stay healthy because that duo is going to be deadly. And with the depth of the Brooklyn Nets, I have them winning the East. And it's going to be tough, but I have them winning the East over the Bucks, who just signed their superstar back to a 5-year contract, $228 million. I hope he can play up to that contract because, when them big stars get money like that, but I think he can. Back-to-back MVPs. I think he can play. They just picked up Jrue Holiday, one of the best defending guards in the NBA, who doesn't get a lot of credit for it, but he is the best defending guard in the NBA. They just needed, I think they just needed that one signing. I don't know if it's gonna be tough seeing how they pair up against the Nets, but I think that will help them. So those 2 teams are gonna be very interesting. A few more teams I feel like that people aren't really talking about. You got the Atlanta Hawks. They had a very good offseason. You have the Suns, who picked up Chris Paul to go alongside and lead DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker. The Portland Trailblazers, I think with their full team, that they can come back and get a higher seed in the playoffs than they did last year. The Denver Nuggets, I think they're still going to be a great team. They did good in the playoffs last year, or this past year. I forgot. With this turnaround, I forgot how close the games were. Miami Heat, you can't count them out. They literally just made a finals appearance. If everybody stays healthy, I think they'll be right back where they need to be. It's going to be a little tougher with the Nets emerging as a contender this year, but I think they can still do what they need to do. Celtics, when I watched that preseason game versus the Nets, they had a lot of things that they needed to work on. But it's the preseason, so you can't get too worried. But I think they'll be fine. They'll do fine in the season. Another team that I've seen good flashes from, Memphis Grizzlies. They looked really energetic. I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is still hurt. He got hurt back in August. I think something with his knee. But the team that they have that I've seen in the preseason, they look really good, energetic, fun to watch. Ja Morant still bouncy, and he just looks like he's jumping on a trampoline, and he just looks ready. He looked ready last year. He looks ready again. And the New Orleans Pelicans, a lot of people aren't talking about them. I mean, a lot of people talk about Zion, of course, but a lot of people aren't talking about Brandon Ingram. And that duo is going to be crazy. I don't like when they overhype Zion. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but, you know, sometimes they just post him a little too much. Not taking anything away from his game, though. They added Steven Adams. He's a very good center. You know, he'll fight for the rebounds. And, you know, he's a good scorer in the inside. And they just have a lot of young talent that I think can emerge into something, if not this year, in the next couple of years. And I think they're going to be a very interesting team to watch. Here I'm going to post my prediction of the seeding for the 2020-2021 NBA season. You can pause and take a look at it and see where I have your favorite team landing. And down below, comment who you rock for. Like, who's your favorite team? Who do you watch? Who are you rocking with this season? Who have you been rocking with? Let me know that down below. Now let's get into these award predictions. At MVP, even though he's coming off of injury, I have Kevin Durant. And it's going to be tough because he has a lot to prove. But I think he's capable, and I think he can do it, and I think he's ready to do it. And it's going to be exciting to watch him this year. Rookie of the Year, it's tough because I still feel like I haven't seen enough from the rookies yet. So right now I'm not going to say anybody because I just feel like I don't want to make the wrong choice. I mean, you know, it's just predictions. You know, it's all fun and games. But I haven't seen enough from them. I'm still learning a lot of them since I don't really watch a lot of college basketball. But I'm just not going to say anybody for now. Sixth Man of the Year, I have Spencer Dinwiddie. I feel like with him playing on the Nets, he's going to get a lot of opportunities to come in off the bench and put in great minutes for them. I mean, I'm not sure if he's going to start. I don't think he is. If he's going to start, if he's going to be the backup. But I think he's going to come in and play good quality minutes for them. Most improved, I have Michael Porter Jr. I feel like with his performance in the bubble, you know, he proved a lot to the Nuggets organization that he can play big time minutes in big time games and put up good numbers. And I feel like if he has a bigger role with the Nuggets this year, he can do some good things for them. And I feel like he'll be a good fit for Most Improved Player. Defensive Player of the Year, I have Anthony Davis. He's just a dog on defense. Blocks, his hustle, rebounds, fights for him. So I have Anthony Davis with that. And Coach of the Year, I'm going to say Steve Nash. And I feel like with the team that they have, I see them having a very, very good season. If everybody can stay healthy, it's going to be tough, but it's going to be an interesting one. But that's going to be all for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you agree or disagree with me, let me know how you feel down below. And also make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and turn on your post notifications so you know when the next video drop. I don't know if I'm going to do once a week, twice a week, or just whenever I feel like I need to sit down and record something. But that's going to be all. Until next time, peace.